Hi, welcome back to another vlog. So I was like debating whether or not I was gonna start the vlog tonight or not. It's almost 8 o'clock and I'm kind of tired, but I thought I'd get on here and show you what I worked on last night and what I'm gonna try to work on in the evenings, maybe in the afternoons when my littles are napping. But it's my 1-year-old's baby book. This is not a picture of her. I have not changed this yet because I haven't decided what picture to put there. I did mention this like several months ago as something that I was gonna try to do during ankle like recuperation, at least the first half, because I had all the pictures printed. I've tried to do them on, what am I trying to say? I did photo books on Shutterfly and I liked doing them that way, and I still do them once a year for like our whole family. Unless it's too big, then I'll do 2 books, because sometimes some years we take way more pictures than other years. And so last year when I was working on the one for my son, who is now 2.5, I was like, oh, I just like to put in all the little things from the hospital and all these things. And I just didn't want to do that in the Shutterfly book, or even just put it, you know, they'll put like a memorabilia pocket. And I was like, no, I want it in there, and I'll show you in a minute kind of what I mean. And so anyways, I just decided, I'm like, I'm just gonna make him one like the other kids. The problem is my first 3 kids only required 1 of these books. And then my next 3 kids have required 2 of these books, because as I started getting more and more kids, there was just more pictures, okay, of all the things that were going on. And for my 4th child, that one became our family yearbook as well, because I hadn't started doing Shutterfly. So there's a lot of things in there that she's in, but that I probably would have put in a family yearbook if I was making the Shutterfly ones. And since I wasn't, it went in there. So anyways, it's very full. I had it in one book and had to split it because it was just falling apart. And so then I've made these ones with 2 because it's just easier. I tried with my sons. I have one of them here because I like to follow the same, like a similar format. So I usually look at the past child's to figure it out, but I have his here, these books right here, just from Amazon. And so I tried to fit it into one and that was not gonna happen. So I made it into 2. So last night I worked on my daughter's, on Becca's, for an hour and a half, I think, because I just got an earlier start. Tonight we were at a work event. Like my husband has all of his back to school university meetings Thursday and Friday, which is tomorrow and the next day. So I'll vlog some while he is at meetings all day. But tonight was like their big barbecue and everything like that. So we went to that, got kids in bed. So it just ran a little bit later than normal. We go to bed kind of early around here, usually by like 9:30. I'm heading upstairs, and you know, between 10 and 10:15, I'm usually asleep in bed. So anyway, I'm like, for me to start working on this later and then just have to clean everything up, not really worth it. I might though. I haven't ordered the second half of her pictures because I just had put them all in a folder, and I was like, okay, I'll order the first half so I can start working on this, and then I never started working on it. And then she turned 1 a few weeks ago. It's been almost 2 weeks now. And so then I just go to their first birthday, and that's where these books end. It goes from when they're born, or right before, you know, with some ultrasound pictures and me being pregnant pictures, and then their first birthday. And so I need to actually go through and sort all that. I'm not gonna show you that, but I need to order the rest of the pictures, because then I know exactly, like if I sort everything out, how many pictures need to be on each page and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to flip the camera around so I can show you what I've done. This picture keeps throwing me off because it sort of looks like her and doesn't. You know, all little babies look similar. So I'm gonna show you. I have not put labels in this. Maybe I'll show you my son's as well, at least part of it. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing because that would take a really long time and you probably don't really care. So that's what I've been working on, and you might see me working on it the next few days as well, as I'm trying to get it done as much as possible. So let's turn the camera around and show you what's going on, and then I'll go sort pictures and just kind of relax and listen to a show or something while I do it, because I'm tired and don't really want to do anything that requires too much thinking. Okay, so here are the 2 books. I'll kind of show you the first few pages in like together, just so you can see what I'm shooting for. And then after that, it kind of differs depending on the kid and what pictures I have. So here's the first page. Usually it's a picture of them or something similar. So here's that. And then I also write them like a special letter just from mom. So that will obviously go here once I get that. But then as you can see on Locks, it has his birthday information, his name, all that kind of stuff. And so then I put the pregnancy pictures here and I'll label them, all the weeks and stuff. And then the ultrasound pictures here. And then this is obviously as far as I got on hers, but this is all the like hospital information and stuff like that. So that's, I put it there, you know, they have their cute little feet and then all the different things. And inside this has some information about her. And then I'll put more hospital pictures because I have pictures with her and her siblings and all that kind of stuff. I don't have that with Locke because that was during COVID. And so we have these pictures in the hospital and then that's basically it. So then it goes to just some fun pictures like of my husband and them hanging out together and things like that. And then I will do their blessing day. So we bless them when they're a few months old. I don't know, there's not like a certain age limit on it or anything like that. And this is the blessing my husband gave him and who was in attendance and stuff like that. This one was at our home, not at the church because of COVID. So things like that. So that will go in here next with hers as well. And that's a like certificate we get from the church that they were blessed on a certain day and who performed the blessing. And then, yeah, after that, it's kind of just a free-for-all. Some of the pages look like this because there's so many pictures and I can't pick one. And then, you know, we went on a trip with him and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm going for. They all look a little bit different after that point. Like I said, the first few pages, well, that was loud, sorry. The first few pages are all fairly similar. And then after that, it kind of just depends on the photos I have. So that's probably some of the stuff you'll see me working on the next few days. And then also maybe in some other vlogs as well, as I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible and get it checked off my list. Okay, it's another day. It's actually the next day. Like I said, I was gonna film when my husband was at all of his meetings. So it is 10 o'clock. I finished breakfast, so I went on a walk real quick before my husband left. And then I did some lifting while my toddler was with me and my girls watched my baby. We cleaned up a little bit, showered, got ready, had some breakfast, wrangled all my crazy kids, especially my toddler. Like, he is a very volatile toddler. One minute he's very happy, the next he's like having a tantrum. It's super fun. This stage, like, I'm just excited about it. It's really, no. But so anyway, we're doing some schoolwork today. I've mentioned before that for summer, we usually take about 2 months off, and then I try to do 2 months of, we just do a few lessons a week. So it's not super crazy intense for me or for my kids. And so they just do language arts and math, and like once or twice a week. This week has been a little harder because it's Thursday now, but at the beginning of the week, we were just getting back from a trip and trying to like recuperate from all that. We had a lot of other things going on. Monday was crazy. I had a physical therapy appointment, a chiropractic appointment. I had a massage. Like, there was just a lot of things going on. So it's taken till this part of the week for us to actually do a little bit of schoolwork. So I'm going to sit down with my 7-year-old pretty soon and work through her schoolwork with her. And then my baby will be awake soon. She's taking a nap. I have some dough right here, sourdough bagels that I made yesterday. So I need to make those. And then later on today, I need to film a video, like a sit-down video, and we might do some cleaning. I'm not exactly sure everything that will be included in this, but that's kind of what it looks like today, I think. I'm like, is there something else? I don't know. It's laundry day, so I'll be running up and down the stairs all day doing laundry. But yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like, and I'll bring you along for some of it. Obviously not everything, but we'll see what we can get done today on this crazy kid-filled day. What's that face? What's that face? Lydia is using these geometric shapes to fill in the bigger geometric shapes, and then she's tracing it so I know which shape she used. So that's what she's working on right now. She just finished using a bunch of Cheerios to start doing multiplication type stuff, so that was super fun for her. And Becca is awake, as you saw, with her funny faces, and she's now playing with some toys, huh, Beck? Becca, Becca, Becca. She's like, I am not gonna look at you. I have this truck and it is cool. Yeah, there you are, Becca, Becca. And you need one more triangle.
Yeah.
Maybe it helps if we have all the right shapes. There you go. This one was a hard one to figure out, huh? And that didn't help that you were you only using 3 triangles instead of 4.
There we go.
There you go. You got it. Okay, it is now 4 o'clock. The rest of the day went shoop. What did I even do? I did film some stuff. I had a baby that was struggling with napping. She finally did take a nap. And I read a little bit and I edited a video. And that might seem like a lot, but it was also like, I felt like I got nothing done. And I had done the bagels right after lunch. So it was maybe 12:45-ish or something, and it's like, let them sit for 30 to 60 minutes, which I knew it was gonna be longer because I'm like, I just wanna sit down and have a rest. My feet were killing me. And now we're at 4 o'clock. So it's been longer than 30 to 60 minutes, but I think that's fine. I feel like they look really cute and poofy. Can you see? Whoa, they're coming at you. So I'm gonna get these, I have water that's heating up, so I'm gonna boil them and then put them in the oven and get them cooking, and also start dinner in just a minute. I still need to finish up laundry. It's kind of like the rush to dinner time, and then it's a rush getting everyone ready for bed right after that. So I'll show these as I go through the process a little bit of boiling them and then cooking them, and then I'll probably go over dinner. It's the same meal as I mentioned in my last vlog that we took on our vacation, but maybe I'll show you more of the steps and then show you what it actually looks like when it's done, because I didn't do that since we were already gone on vacation and I wasn't gonna worry about it on vacation. So anyway, that's kind of where we are. That's what we're gonna do. Let's do it. Okay, so I have some in the water boiling. So this is water, some sugar, and some baking soda. And just 1 minute flip, 1 minute flip. So I'm just timing them down here. And then I did everything but the bagel seasoning, except we have the bagels. Those ones haven't been cooked yet. And then I'm gonna put cheddar cheese on 8 of them. So I have 16, I doubled the batch. So 8 of them will have the seasoning here and 8 of them will have cheese. Okay, here's the ones with cheese on them. Delicious. And the everything bagel, and the other ones are in the oven. I wish you could smell it. This everything bagel stuff is so good. It smells so good in here. Okay, so I'm starting to make dinner. I showed these shells briefly last week when I was making this, but I was trying to get stuff cooked so fast. I just wanted to show you the package. So this is just from Walmart, and this is the brand, and they're just the ready to cook ones. I like these the best. And they cook really fast once you get the pan hot. And so once I get the pan hot, I can do them really fast. You could even have a kid do them. Like I've had my kids cook shells for tacos before. My daughter's practicing piano, if you can hear that in the background. So these are the shells that I'm using. You could also use corn tortillas. I just don't like the flavor or texture of corn tortillas very much. So I found these, and they're the fajita size. I think they have bigger, like burrito size ones. So these are the smaller ones. So if you're gonna do this recipe, make sure you get the smaller ones. Okay, so the bagels came out, at least the first set. They look delicious, nice and brown, and smell so delicious. I've started the taco meat. So I like to use ground turkey. You can use ground beef. I just like the texture of ground turkey better. So I'm cooking, this is 2 pounds. And then when this is mostly cooked, I'll throw in an onion. You can be as big or small as you want, really, depending how much you like onion. So probably about a half a cup is how much I'm gonna put in here. And then I'll start putting seasonings, and then a can of green chilies right here will go in. And cilantro is at the very end. We'll have a whole bunch of spices that go in before that, but cilantro is not part of the original recipe. I just really like cilantro. Are you helping? You knew that was what you were supposed to get. So I just really like the taste of cilantro. I know some people love it, some people hate it, and I love it. So I'm gonna put it in, and yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. So I'm gonna let this cook a little bit longer, break up the meat, and then I'll start adding some of the seasonings. Okay, so I added the chilies in here. I have garlic. It's about a tablespoon. Well, this is more than a tablespoon because I like adding lots of garlic. Chili powder, oregano, and paprika, and some cumin. And then salt and pepper. I rarely add more salt and pepper to recipes now. Pepper because of my kids. Salt because of me. I have an inner ear disease where too much salt causes problems. So this stuff all adds enough flavor, and with the cheese and stuff, and the taco shells, there's plenty of salt in it. So I'm gonna mix all of this together, and then I'll put it into a separate bowl and put the cheese, like stir the cheese into it once I do that. Here's the mixture before I mix everything in. So we have a huge pile of cilantro. It's a cup and a half of cheese. Sometimes I put more. And just mix it until it all melts together, and then we'll get it on the tortilla shells. Well, I'll probably do laundry first, but then we'll put it on the tortilla shells because it only takes a few minutes in the oven. It's not a very long time to get it crunchy, and I'm getting dinner done a little bit early today. Oh, and just in case you want to see the cheese ones, here they are. Don't they look delicious? Nice and melty, crunchy cheese. So bagels are all done, and when they cool down, I'll cut them in half, put them in freezer bags, and then throw them in the freezer, because then they can throw them in the microwave and toast them if they want, and put some butter on them. Nobody here really loves putting cream cheese on bagels, so usually it's butter. Anyways, so that's what I'm gonna do once those cool down a little bit. Okay, so here's what they look like once you get them on the pans. You have the taco shells. It fills 18 shells. I cooked 20 because the pack has 20, but my little kids will just use the shells tomorrow for like quesadillas. And I just fill them, the recipe's enough for about 3 tablespoons of the meat mixture in each shell. And then I'll just spray them with some like cooking oil and put them in an oven at 425 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes until they're crispy. You know, if you like them more crispy, then leave them longer. If you like them less, don't cook them as long. And then they're also really good put in the air fryer or a toaster oven like the next day. So they're really good leftovers. Hello, I came back here tonight, it's Saturday night, to work on the baby book because I haven't made any progress since I showed you a few days ago. So I'm gonna I probably won't get much done while talking to you for a few minutes because that's really hard for me to do multiple things like that at once. I can do multiple things of some things at once, but maybe not this. Anyways, so I just thought I'd say hello and then also just tell you a little bit about our trip if you were interested. And maybe put in some pictures. I put pictures on Instagram, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't have seen those. Or if you just want to see them again, I'll put in some over me talking, but it was good. Like I mentioned before, I don't even know if I'm gonna try to work on this while I'm talking because it's just not gonna happen. But my baby is not having a fun time right now. She's in bed. I just barely put her in bed, but she's been having a rough time ever since we got back. Like her schedule's been all wonky, so we'll see. My husband's up there, so maybe he'll give her a hug. But anyways, so the trip went well. Like I said, it's exhausting, it's stressful, but we had a lot of really good fun moments. Luckily, it's very close. Lava Hot Springs is only about an hour and a half away from our home. And so we went there, we stayed at an Airbnb because I would have loved to camp. We don't have a lot of camping gear, especially for how many people we have in our family now. And we don't have access to like a camp trailer because that's like ideally what I would have wanted to use. And I think that would have been fun because the river runs by some of the campgrounds, which can be stressful in and of itself with little kids, but also just fun to play in the river some more. But I liked where we stayed. It was nice. It was plenty of room for all of us. And we didn't really do much after we got there. We went on a walk. The town is very, very small. So there's a very small grocery store. So if you do go, bring your own food, which is what we did. And you could still get some things, like we went and got milk and some extra like bottled water the second day we were there. But Thursday was the day we did like almost everything. We tried to go hiking that morning. I was looking up hikes, and the ones that were close that seemed more reliable, I was like hesitant because they seemed kind of hard for me. Like I said, my dorsiflexion isn't super great. And so we went and hiked it for just a short time. It was straight up the front side of the mountain. You know, I'm like, oh, I can do switchbacks and stuff. I'm like, I haven't done that hard of a hike in a while. I could have done it with a healthy ankle, with one that had normal dorsiflexion like before my surgery, but it's not there yet. So I would have been fine if that was the case. But since that was not the case, we made it about a third of the way up the mountain, and then we came to an ATV trail. And so we just walked that because it was flat. But part of me was just like, oh, I really wish that I had been able to go up the mountain. But my toddler did great. This is the first hike that he's really just walked all by himself, because usually my husband packs him and I pack our baby. And he just walked up it. He was right in front of me and walking straight up this mountain. He did a really good job. So that was that morning. And then the pool, they have a huge, like it has, they call it the Olympic something pool, lava Olympic pool. I don't remember. I have been there when I was a teenager and floated the river when I was a teenager for a church activity. And that was the only time I've been to Lava Hot Springs. And so we went back to the pool, which was cool. Like they have some new things because that was over 20 years ago. So they have a lot more things. At the time, I think it was just like they have platform diving boards that are, you know, Olympic style. And if you want to dive off them, you have to have a signed permission slip or like a waiver saying you can. And that was the same thing back when I went. I didn't have the waiver signed because I was like, I'm not gonna dive off that, like, or jump off a huge diving board. But they do have like springboards, like just normal low dive and high dive. So you don't have to sign a waiver for those, but they have water slides. They have some of the really tall water slides, which my husband and a couple of my kids wanted to go on. They just have a really nice, like shallow end. They even had a few indoor. They have an indoor pool that has a small rock climbing wall. And then they had a fun like indoor kid area, like splash pad, but with a little bit more water. And it was heated. My son and baby loved it because the water wasn't cold. Even outside, it wasn't that cold, even though the weather was, I don't know, it was kind of in the lower 80s, I feel like, that day. So we were there for a few hours, and that was fun. I didn't, you know, get a lot of pictures because we're surrounded by water. And then we went back to the Airbnb and let my baby sleep for a while. I feel like that was the hardest part of the whole trip, was my toddler's getting to a point where he does pretty good if he doesn't take a nap in the afternoon, but my baby is still usually taking a couple naps a day, and so her nap schedule getting thrown off was hard, and she doesn't nap really well if she's not in her pack and play, if I'm just trying to like help her, or if she falls asleep in the car. And everything was so close there wasn't really time to fall asleep in the car. Anyway, so it was just kind of hard to deal with a very, very tired baby while trying to still navigate 5 other children. So anyway, we let her sleep for a little bit, and then because we knew it would be a little later evening, because you could rent the tubes. They have like quad tubes, triple tubes, double tubes, single tubes, and you can rent them for 2 hours, 4 hours, half the day, or the whole day. And so we rented just a quad tube, just one, for 2 hours. So like from 4 to 6 in the evening, and went down the river. And my husband went first with 5 of the kids, since they're small enough they could all go on the tube together, and he sat in the middle with our toddler. And so they all went down a couple times, and I was like hurrying back so I could get pictures of them while packing a baby. So by the time we got home Saturday and then Sunday, I was like really sore from, you know, carrying extra weight, packing her a lot. So that was fun. And then it was my turn, and I had a blast. I scream a lot when it comes to those things. They're like roller coasters, so I was screaming a lot, but it was really fun. And I didn't sit in the middle. I sat on one of the outside, and my toddler didn't want to come with us. And so we got in 3 rides before our time was up. Just, I think sometimes it was a little faster to ride. Like, they have shuttles that you can pay for as well, and you could ride them back, and it's like 20 minutes, not the ride on the shuttle, but the river is only like 20 minutes to get down. So the shuttle is pretty short to go from the end back to the beginning. And so I guess we just went faster than my husband did because they only got in 2 times. But the 3rd time, my toddler seemed like he wanted to go, so we put him on the trailer with us, and my husband was staying at the end, you know, to help us when we got out and everything. And we get back to the trailhead to walk down to the river, and my toddler realized what's happening. He did not want to do it, and I was like, we can't, like, you can't turn back now. Like, your dad's not here to even watch you. Like, what are we supposed to do? And so you know, he finally was like, okay, but it was, and then he just sits there in the middle with my son and just is like, it's just like lacks whimsy. Both of them lack whimsy. My oldest son and my youngest son both lack that whimsy. So, and we could have taken the baby. We had a life jacket that we brought for her. So they have life jackets, just nothing really small enough for like a toddler or a baby. So my toddler had a life jacket, and then we brought one for her, but we just figured it'd be easier and safer if we just took turns anyway. And so we didn't take her out on the river. I think she would have just screamed when she got like a face full of cold water. So anyway, we did that, and it was super fun. Again, I was super sore. And then, yeah, Friday we drove up to Rexburg, and that was a super quick trip. We were only there for like not even 24 hours. The kids had super fun, lots of fun, I don't know, on the ATVs, like the quads, riding around in the sand. Well, some of them didn't like it. They've ridden around my in-laws' backyard, which is just dirt. And so riding on sand is different, right? It's like slippery almost, like you're sliding. And so my daughter, who's 11, didn't really like that feeling. But so they did that and ran on several rides with Grandpa. They did get stuck. They were kind of like high centered on top of one of the dunes. Luckily, it was very close to the camp, so they just walked back to the motorhome. And yeah, so me, my husband, and my 2 littles, and then my oldest stayed in a hotel that night, but my 3 other kids stayed with Grandpa in the motorhome. And so that was fun for them. And they went on a few rides the next morning, and we packed up and came home. And so it was kind of like a whirlwind of a trip, but we also did a lot of things and had a lot of fun. And so I don't know, maybe like one more day, like spending 2 full days in Lava Hot Springs would have been good, you know, doing the pool more one day in the river. But I don't know, with the age of our kids right now, I felt like 2 hours on the river was good enough. Maybe if we did 2 hours each day on the river, you know, but then you have to rent both days. So anyway, I don't know what would be best. Like, I felt like it was good, and you know, it's stressful, but it was fun. We had a lot of good memories, a lot of moments where it was like, oh my gosh, kids, but it was good. We had a good time. My kids are all coming down to get ready, finish getting ready for bed, but I just thought I'd let you know that before I work on this baby book. And then I might get back on here on Monday and show you a few things Monday. And then we'll close the vlog on Monday and start another one later on in the week. Okay, so it is Monday. And like I said, I'm gonna just put a few more things into this vlog and then we'll end it and start another one. But I'm up in my girls' room, my older 2 girls' room, and I'm gonna go through some of their clothes behind me in their closet, and also some of the clothes in their drawers probably. We're getting ready for family pictures. We try to take them every year around fall time, September, October. And I just want to make sure, I ordered some things from Old Navy, but I want to make sure that they have pants that fit them, or just know the options. Like if something doesn't work out that I ordered, maybe something else will. So that's kind of what I want to fill out. And then it also helps me just to know what clothes they need as we go into cooler weather. And so, because September can still be sort of warm, but we can also get cooler days. You know, it starts to really fluctuate between warm weather and very, very cold weather. And it can be really cold in the mornings too. So I just need to check and see what kinds of clothes they have, things that are outgrown, things that need to be handed down, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be very quick because it's getting close to lunchtime and stuff. So I'm going to just try to go through everything as quickly as possible, get it all figured out. Donate it if it doesn't fit either of them, you know, move it if it's will fit my younger daughter, and if it won't fit her for the next year, then I'll put it up really high in the closet and then we'll pull it out next year. So that's kind of the process we're going to go through. I don't know how much you'll be able to see or tell on the camera or how much I'll be able to film, but that's what I'm going to do right now. Just went through and decluttered Lydia's shoes, and this is what's left. She has a pair of sandals that fits her that are downstairs, and then this bin has like her church shoes and stuff. So she has a few from her sister that still fit her.
I don't like these.
You don't like those ones? Okay.
Yeah, they're really tight on me.
Okay, then you can get rid of them. So we have a few shoes here, but other than that, apparently she needs some new shoes because she doesn't have any. And this is good to know because that means she needs shoes for pictures, because usually it's like boots or booties type of a situation because we're in the woods and stuff like that, or in the mountains. So we need to get her some shoes. Okay, so we went through dresses, we went through sweatshirts down here, and we went through shoes. I didn't get to go through their drawers, but I mostly know what they have already, and my oldest daughter has some pants up there that should fit her if we need them for pictures. My girls are going to come up after lunch and clean out this closet because it's a mess, and then some other things we found in the closet as we were cleaning, so they're going to clean it up. And then, hello, dude. This pile right here is what's going to go to Goodwill. So several shoes that don't fit my 7-year-old anymore. And I'm not saving them for my 1-year-old because that's just way too long to save them. And then some dresses and a few jackets that are just getting a little bit small. So that's what we got rid of, 30 minutes of work. I feel like we made a good impact, and it helps me know that we definitely need some shoes. So one bit of good news before I end this vlog is that I graduated from physical therapy today. So I was very excited about that. The physical therapist did, measurements and some tests, asked some questions and things, and everything's improved a lot. All my motion on my left ankle matches my right ankle except for my dorsiflexion, which we already knew, but everything else is the same and back to where it's supposed to. With my dorsiflexion is improving each time he takes the test. It's about in half every single time. The range of motion gets better. And so with how long it's taken it to get this much better, he thinks it'll still be a few months before it's completely matching up with my other foot. So, while frustrating, that's also exciting. At least we're making progress. So he said, all my test score, everything looks like it's pretty good. My son is sitting right here playing with Pokemon cards. So if you hear that loud coin drop, but he said that everything is looking really good, enough that I don't need to be at physical therapy. He thinks I'll still just improve just fine at home. There's the point where I won't say they're not being helpful because it's still helpful, but I can see the same improvement at home. There's the point where it's like, okay, now you can just continue to improve on your own. And I don't need to be in physical therapy. I don't need to be spending the money to be in physical therapy and all that kind of stuff, or the time. It was an hour. At first it was an hour 3 times a week, and then twice a week, and now it was once a week. So it's time consuming, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be able to still work on things at home and not have to go into physical therapy. It is kind of sad. You know, I have been there for 2.5 months, a lot. And so you become friends and talk to people, you know, when you go in, you know, the physical therapist, you know, the aides and everything. So it is one of those like, oh, all these people are my friends. So when I was talking to him today, I'm like, hopefully I won't see you guys again anytime soon, but you know, it's like they're people that you know all their stories, because it's different than some environments, just because when you're doing all your exercises, there's a lot of downtime, or when you're getting ice, or when they're doing like stretching my ankle, there's just a lot of downtime to talk. And so you know a lot about their lives and all their stories and things like that, and they know about you, like you're sharing back and forth. And so for an hour, you know, several times a week, so you know each other pretty well. And then it's like, okay, see ya. And so, you know, should I like give him my number and be like, let's be friends? I don't know. Anyway, so that was exciting news. So graduated from that, I go back to my podiatrist in a few more weeks. And then as long as that he thinks everything's good, I'll see him maybe in May, like he said, a year from the surgery, which would have been the middle of May. So then I'd go back next year in May and have him check and make sure everything's still good. You know, we might look at some things on my other foot. I'm not gonna do anything crazy right now, or surgeries or anything like that, but might have him check out some other things with my other foot. But yeah, so far we're doing really well. Onward and upward. I'm getting faster, exercising more, and I'm excited about that. So I just thought I'd give you that little update. But yeah, I'm gonna close this vlog here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was, you know, again, it's always just kind of random tidbits of things that I actually have time to share. Some of them feel a little rushed, probably because they were. There's just not, you know, life is crazy. I have 6 kids, we're home all the time, we homeschool, like it just gets really busy. So anyway, if you enjoy seeing my vlogs, remember to give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.